Hello again, guys. It's Keith with Bulletproof RC, and I'm back with you again to share my thoughts on the Axial Yeti Score Trophy Truck Kit. I got it assembled and had a chance to run it, and man, I am on board with the trophy truck scene. The way this vehicle performs exceeded my expectations. I really halfway thought this thing was just a Yeti with a body slapped on top of it, which I guess that is what it is, but uh, all in all, this thing came together quite well, and Axial has definitely come across something very special and unique. You may know that Losi is entering the trophy truck market as well with the Baja Ray. You need to Google that if you don't know about it. And we all know Losi brings some quality products to the table, so it'll be interesting to see how it stacks up against the Axial Score trophy truck. But my thoughts on this rig are very fine. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. I definitely love the scale realism. The trophy truck I've seen is going to come about and be as big and popular as Short Course ever was, if you ask my opinion. And just there's something special about watching this thing in action. I'm going to share a couple of thoughts I have on dialing this thing in, getting it ready to go, and I guess you've probably been following this truck. You've seen that people are doing the body mod where they actually use a little double stick tape or screws and secure the driver figures to the body. I highly recommend doing this. It makes removal of the body a heck of a lot easier, and your driver figures stay secured in the body. When you take it off, you don't have the extra piece laying around. That's definitely a cool thing. Another thing I want to mention is the front body mount. I recommend lowering it down one notch below where the manual tells you to mount it. If you can see that, looks like I've got 3 holes below the body mount. I don't know if that's coming in the camera or not, but that is a better position. The way the body was sitting on the truck, it was kind of at an angle, which I didn't like. I like the bottom of my body and the bottom of my chassis to be in line with each other, and lowering this down one notch definitely helped with that. The other thing I recommend doing is, the manual tells you to use the top front position and the bottom front position for your shocks. If you move your shocks back one notch, it brings the vehicle level. As you can see, the chassis is level with the ground. It just, the whole thing, the body was sitting like this and the chassis was sitting like this, and just was odd to me. I thought at first moving the shock back was going to limit ground clearance or shock travel, and I guess if you lift it off the ground, I did lose a little bit of shock travel. The rear suspension doesn't drop quite as much as it did, but after adjusting these shocks to the rear position and running it, I can tell you that it's more stable with the shocks in this position, and looks more realistic with the body on. So and you still have plenty of shock travel back here. Your rear end will not even bottom out at all. Regardless of what position you use, your rear end will not bottom out. Your front end will. And that takes me on to another point. I don't believe these springs are quite strong enough. I ordered a set of Axial Yeti Hot Racing front springs. They have one set that is a little bit firmer than these, and they are blue, so it should match the theme. I've got those coming just because I believe that it's a little bit low in the front end, and I think it's better off to have a little bit more dampening in the front end. Which also I want to mention, I use 45 weight oil up here, and it feels right. So the stock 30 is probably going to be a little light for this. and I use 20 weight in the rear shocks, and they feel good too. So keep that in mind, guys. Another thing, since this is lower to the ground than a rock racer Yeti, which has incredible ground clearance, I highly recommend T-Bone's chassis skid plate. Since this thing is more likely to drag the ground than a Yeti rock racer. I have one on the rock racer as well, just because you climbing over obstacles, you still drag the bottom. But this skid plate is very resilient. T-Bone makes excellent products, and it protects your investment. And all in all, I'm very happy with the way this thing turned out. I haven't clocked it as far as my speeds, but it just feels right. The speed that I'm hitting with the 3100 kV motor, and I use the 56. I think it's the 56. Yep, 56 tooth spur. You have the option to use a 56 or a 64. I use the 56, and I use a 20 tooth pinion. That gear combination, along with 3100 kV motor, is just about right for this vehicle. It's not the fastest rig in my collection. Got a little double stick tape there. It's definitely not the fastest rig in my collection. I do believe that my Axial Exo or my team associated SE10B would spank this thing as far as it is straight out drag racing, but on a track, man, this thing, I can already tell it's just going to be a sight to behold with the suspension and the way everything's set up. Anyway, I thought I would share my thoughts. As always, click like and subscribe if the shoe fits, and have a great day, guys.